So Amber Heard allegedly attacked Marilyn Manson, smacking him and saying, "Stay away from my husband, you..." Now you and I, we're going to talk about this one today. It is crazy times. It is crazy times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day. By the way, I hope you are doing excellently. Amber Heard attacking Marilyn Manson, and Marilyn Manson witnessing stuff that happened to Johnny Depp. This was brought up by Adam Waldman. This is Johnny Depp's attorney. This was missed apparently by quite a few people, myself included. So let's check this out. It starts out with a question to Adam Waldman. You had communications with Marilyn Manson about potentially providing testimony, right? Adam Waldman responds, "I did." The question, when was the last time you spoke with him about being a witness for Johnny Depp? Was it in this case, talking about the Virginia case in 2022? This is the 2nd year anniversary going on right now, by the way, or in the UK case. Now, there's some discussion afterward about when this takes place, with Waldman saying, it was around the time of the UK trial. So they were talking about having Marilyn Manson testify during that, and after bringing in some text messages and email communications between the two, we pick up right here. So, if you can just go to the first page, please. There is a text exchange between you and Marilyn Manson about potentially compiling evidence that you believe would be helpful for Mr. Depp's case, right? Now, Waldman's reply to this is fascinating because apparently Marilyn Manson was at one of those events where she made claims. Check this out here. Yeah, I spoke with Marilyn Manson, and the question that I posed to him was, did he attend Thanksgiving? Sorry about the year, but I feel like it's 2013. I may be wrong, but Thanksgiving 2013. And this was one of Miss Heard's sort of late-blooming claims as her allegations against Mr. Depp kind of mushroomed in advance of the UK trial. She said that Mr. Depp beat her and did cocaine and, forced her to change her clothes because of damage and injured her head and so on, even though her own nurse was one of the guests. And only several days before this interaction, which I guess is July 11th, I realized that Mr. Manson was one of the attendees this Thanksgiving. And when I spoke with him, I was extremely surprised that he had taken video at the beginning and the end of the evening. And so I was very interested in getting those photos and videos, which I did. And once I got them, we gave them to the court. And of course, she and the son quietly dropped that claim because the photos and videos sort of destroyed it. So, claim that was put forward, that was quietly just thrown away after video evidence ended up popping up, according to Adam Waldman. And I was also interested in the story he told me about some of the interactions with Miss Heard and had the idea that he might prepare a declaration to that effect. Now check out this right here. This is where things start to get fascinating. He's asked about photos and videos. My question to you, Mr. Waldman, is, he says he has lots of photos and videos on the first page. Do you see that? And Waldman replies, yeah, I do. Is he just referring to lots of photos and videos on that Thanksgiving evening? So, is this all photos and videos of one specific time that are being referred to? And Waldman says, I don't really know. I don't know what the catalog. So, Marilyn Manson calls this a catalog of photos and videos are that he has. I think you'd have to ask him. Now, he's asked, why did you want them? And it was your belief that those photos and videos would bolster your claim that Miss Heard was not telling the truth about what happened that evening. And Adam Waldman replies, I think it wasn't only my belief. I think it was the son and Miss Heard's belief once we presented them in court because they dropped this claim. They dropped it completely. Now, he was asked, hey, you don't have any direct knowledge of that, do you? And Waldman responds, well, I'm not a big believer in coincidences. They stopped talking about it as soon as those videos appeared in court. And he continues on with this. He's asked, but you do believe that the pictures and videos Marilyn Manson sent you help disprove Miss Heard's allegations, correct? And he replies, as to that incident, Thanksgiving, perhaps 2013, I think those videos and photographs, yes, demolished her claim. So they didn't disprove, they demolished her claim. More than that, she just dropped the claim. There was no need to demolish it anymore. Now, this is where it starts to get really interesting, in my opinion, because something comes up in those communications. He's asked to look over certain exhibits. Exhibit 21 that's brought up. He's asked if he can read over something, and this is what he says in it. Listen to this. This is what the communication entails. Waldman says, quote, okay, if it ends, then she smacked me. So she smacked Marilyn Manson. So Marilyn Manson is saying that Amber Heard struck him and said, stay away from my husband, you, I'm going to say bundle of sticks. You notice that I've had to edit this? Thank you a lot, YouTube, with that. I've read it all. So, during these communications, Marilyn Manson is telling Adam Waldman that Amber Heard struck him, that she attacked him and said, stay away from my husband, you bleep. Now, as far as how all of that came about, you have Adam Waldman ask, quote, so you talked to Marilyn Manson, and then, based on your conversation, you typed up a declaration for him to sign and then engaged in communication with him over potential edits to that document. Is that right? And this is what Adam Waldman has to say. Quote, I want to make sure that I agree with everything you said. I don't think I ever do a declaration for somebody else to sign. I do a declaration for them to look at, to review, and then revise. And that declaration, for my part, I just try to take down the words they said to me. So he's saying point blank, this is what Manson said to me, that she struck him and called him that certain name. It's sort of for their convenience to give them a foundation of what they said and that they can then work with. And so long as that's understood, yeah, I took down those words. He told me a story, a narrative of what happened. I took it down, and I say here, I kept it super simple, which is what I generally try to do. I try to stick to the facts and send it to him to do what I just said, to consider, to revise, to make his own statement of what occurred. Now, other big names have come up in this too. Names like Joe Perry of Aerosmith. You also had Alice Cooper brought up in this and more. And I find this fascinating considering Evan Rachel Wood, Amber Heard, Evan Rachel Wood. Yeah, this stuff, it is something. But anyway, let me know what you think about this. And as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. If you want to help out the channel, links are in the description. Share, support, you know that drill too. And thank you. See you soon.